Today we'll be learning about factorization of cubic expressions and equations. Okay. Till the previous lecture we were learning about factorizing quadratic equations and quadratic expressions. So in this lecture we'll be studying some methods which are followed for factorizing cubic expressions. Okay. So basically there are three methods through which you can factorize these expressions. So in this lecture we'll be learning the first two methods, and in the next lecture we'll discuss the third method. Okay, so suppose you have a question here that you have to factorize x cube minus 3x square minus 13x plus 15. Now there's a question given that you have to factorize this expression. Okay, so what we'll do, so first we'll learn about the first method. Okay, so this is our first method. Okay, so the first method is your hit and trial method. Okay, the first method is hit and trial method. So what we'll do in this method, the cubic expression that you have been given. Okay, so let's suppose that fx is our cubic expression, which is x cube minus 3x square minus 13x plus 15. Okay, so you have your cubic expression right here. So what we do in this method, we first look at the constant term of our expression. Okay, what is the constant term in this expression? It is 15. So what we do, we just take out the factors of 15. Okay, we just take out the factors of 15 and we take into consideration both its positive and its negative values. So what are the factors of 15? The first factor of 15 is 1. So we'll take plus minus 1. The second factor of 15 is 3. So we'll take both plus and minus 3. The other factor is 5. So we'll take both plus and minus 5. And the last factor is 15. So we'll take plus minus 15. Okay, we just took out the factors of the constant term and we took both the values, both the positive and the negative values for that number. Okay, now what we'll do, we'll one by one put these values in the expression fx, and we'll just find out if fx is equals to 0 at that value of x. Okay, so suppose first let x is equals to 1. Okay, so we'll find out the value of this expression at x is equals to 1. So let's see what is f of 1. So f of 1 is equals to 1 cube minus 3 1 square minus 13 1 plus 15. Okay, so this is 1 minus 3 minus 13 plus 15. So this will be equal to 16 minus 16, which is equals to 0. Okay, so f of 1 is equals to 0. Now since f of 1 is equals to 0, by factor theorem we can say that x minus 1 is a factor. Okay, by factor theorem we can say that x minus 1 is a factor of fx. So we have one factor over here, which is x minus 1. Okay, now we'll just put f is equals to f of minus 1 when x is equals to minus 1, and we'll just find out if the value of fx at x is equals to minus 1 is 0 or not. Okay, so let's put f is equals to minus 1. So minus 1 cube minus 3 of minus 1 square minus 13 of minus 1 plus 15. So what is this? This is minus 1 minus 3 plus 13 plus 15. So what is this? This is minus 1 minus 3 is minus 4, and this is 28. Okay, so this will be equal to 24. So this is not equals to 0. Okay, f of minus 1 is not equals to 0. So x plus 1 is not a factor. Okay, so we'll just find out the values at which these will take values of x as these four numbers plus their counterpart also. So we'll just take 8 numbers and we'll check if the value of fx is 0 at any of the points. So let's take now f of minus 3. Okay, so out of 1, we when we took positive and negative values of 1, so we got at x is equals to 1, our fx is 0. Okay, so we got one factor, which is x minus 1. Okay, now for finding out the other factors, let's take the second number and let's put f of minus 3 and f of plus 3 and just and we'll just check if this is 0 or not. So when you will put minus 3 in this expression, your f of minus 3 will come out to be 0 and f of 3 will not be equals to 0. So when f of minus 3 is equals to 0, hence we can conclude that x plus 3 is a factor. Okay, by factor theorem, is a factor of fx by factor theorem. So this is our second factor. Now we know that this is a cubic expression, so it is bound to have three factors. Okay, so our first factor is x minus 1, our second factor is x plus 3. Now we'll find out the third factor. Okay, f of 3 is also will also come as not equals to 0. Okay, now we'll check for f is equals to 5. Now when you'll find out f is equals to 5, this will come out to be 0. Okay, so x minus 5 is also a factor. Now for all the other values, we have not done here, but when you'll put all the other values like minus 5 plus 15 and minus 15, your fx will not come to be 0. Okay, so this is your third factor. So by hit and trial method, we found out all the three factors, and if you have all the three factors, you can write it like fx is equals to x minus 1 into x minus 5 into x plus 3. Okay, so this is your factorization. We have factorized the cubic polynomial x cube minus 3x square minus 13x plus 15 into three factors by hit and trial method. Okay, so this was your first method, which was the hit and trial method. We just take out the factors of the constant term and we just put the values of x, and we can get out the values of fx simultaneously, and then we can check if that is 0 or not. Okay, now a second method is the long division method. Okay, a second method is the long division method. Now what we do in this method, we first use hit and trial method. Okay, first we use hit and trial method to find out one factor. Okay, so by hit and trial method, we found out that the one of the factor was x minus 1. Now we found our first factor, which is x minus 1. Okay, now what we do, we perform the long division. How? We just divide the cubic polynomial, which is x cube minus 3x square minus 13x plus 15, by this factor which you have taken out by hit and trial method. Okay, we just divide it by x minus 1. Okay, so when you'll divide it by x minus 1, what will be your quotient? So x multiplied by x square is x cube, and when you multiply x square with minus 1, so it will be minus x square. We just reverse the signs, so this will be minus 3x square plus x square is minus 2x square. Now minus 13x will come down, so minus 13x, x multiplied by minus 2x, so this will be minus 2x square. Minus 1 into minus 2x will be plus 2x. Now we'll just reverse the signs, so this will be minus 13x minus 2x is minus 15x plus 15. X multiplied by minus 15 is minus 15x, and minus 1 into minus 15 is plus 15. So we'll get the we'll just reverse the signs and we'll get the remainder as 0. Okay, so we have simply we have simply divided the cubic polynomial with the factor that we have taken out by hit and trial method. Okay, now what we'll do, we'll we can write fx is equals to x minus 1 into x square minus 2x minus 15, which is your quotient. Okay, we can write it like this. Now we'll just factorize this by splitting the middle term. If you'll factorize this quadratic expression by splitting the middle term, you can get out the two factors. Okay, middle term. Okay, now when you factorize this with the help of the with the help of the method of splitting the middle term, you will get its factor as x minus 1 into x minus 5 and x plus 3. The same factors that you obtained by the hit and trial method. So this is a much easier process. This is a much less cumbersome than the hit and trial method. Okay, so these are the two methods you can opt for factorization of cubic expressions. The second method is more convenient and it is more efficient rather than doing the calculations by the hit and trial method. So we'll just learn about the third method in our next lecture.